until he encountered another wise elder, named Sofatanzi. "What are you running from?" asked Sofatanzi. The man explained, "I caught a civet, but now the other man claims it. The judge said whoever brings an offering first wins. I'm poor. I couldn't get it in time." Seeing them, Sofasek said impatiently, "Why so late? The case has already been decided." Neighbors and the animal trapants. Upon a time, in a quiet village, there lived two men who were neighbors. One day they decided to go into the forest together to set traps for wild animals. That afternoon, as the sun dipped behind the hills, they ventured out carrying their gear. When they reached a large tree in the forest, the first man said, "I'll set my trap at the base of this tree. It bears fruit, and animals often come here at night to feed." The second man replied. So, before dawn, the man sneaked out. He went to the traps and found that the trap on the ground had caught a large civet. He quickly took the civet, tied it into his own trap on the tree branch, then reset the ground trap like nothing had happened and hurried home. At sunrise, the man with the ground trap called to his neighbor, "Come on, let's go check the traps." The man who had moved the civet replied casually, "Oh, I don't have much hope. My trap was on a branch, after all." Meanwhile, the man who had placed his trap on the ground also felt uneasy and went to file a complaint to Sofasek, saying that his civet had been stolen. Sofasek gave him the same instruction: whoever brings the offering first will win the case. The next morning, the trickster who had taken the civet arrived first with his offering. The real owner, who was poor and had difficulty affording offerings, was late. Fearing he would lose the case and even be blamed, he ran from village to village. Later he brought the civet to the village judge, Lord Sofasek, and said, "My neighbor and I set traps together. He placed his on the ground. I set mine on the branch. I'm just a poor man, and I believe in justice. Please, may you decide this fairly? I deserve to win the case." Sofasek replied, "All right, bring me a ceremonial betel leaf offering before morning. If your neighbor brings his claim first, we'll follow his version. If not, you'll win the case. I wanted to set mine there too, but since you're taking the base, I'll set mine at the end of this tree's fallen branch. Tomorrow, we'll see whose trap catches something." They agreed, set their traps, and returned home separately. That night, the man who had placed his trap at the end of the branch couldn't sleep. He and his wife began to worry. "Since the time of our ancestors," they said, "no one has ever caught a four-legged animal using a trap placed on a tree branch. What were we thinking? I bet yours on the ground caught something. If so, maybe we can share." But he said this mockingly, knowing full well what had really happened. When they arrived, the trap on the ground was empty. But, surprisingly, or so it seemed, the one on the branch had a civet in it. "See," said the man who had placed his trap on the branch. "Didn't I tell you? You didn't believe me, but look whose trap caught the animal." He took the civet and went home, smug and proud. Sofatanzi calmly replied, "We're late because we were watching flying fish eat tamarind leaves." Sofasek laughed. "Flying fish eating tamarind leaves? That's impossible. I've never heard of such a thing." To this Sofatanzi answered, "Exactly. Just like how no four-legged animal ever gets caught in a trap hanging from a tree branch. Everyone in the village knows that. Have you ever heard of it?" Ashamed of having accepted the bribe of civet meat, he had no argument left. He ruled that the man who set the trap on the ground was the rightful owner of the civet. As for Sofasek, realizing how corrupt and foolish he had been, he turned away in shame, hiding his face like a cat caught stealing a mouse. Moral of the story: deceit may win early, but the truth, helped by wisdom, will always triumph in the end.